Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all okay. Thanks for joining me today. I wanted to discuss with you a topic that I think is going to create a little bit of debate, which is a good thing. But it's quite an important topic in regards to DMR scanning and especially scanning of commercial DMR frequencies. So the basic sort of point of this video is to tell people please don't share commercial DMR frequencies in the public domain. So I'm just going to go over the reasons for that. So, firstly, I'm not saying you shouldn't share DMR frequencies. So if you find something and you share it with your mates, like great, that's all part of the hobby. But the danger comes when they're shared in the public domain, so on websites, forums, and Facebook groups. So many companies and organisations use digital mobile radio networks or DMR radio networks now. So long gone are the days where companies are rolling out large analog networks. It really seldom happens now. Digital networks are more expensive, but there are more benefits to digital networks. Things like privacy, coverage, quality, equipment quality, things like that. It does cost more, but you do get more out of the system. So some of the users of digital networks are parking companies, shop watches, events, so like Christmas markets, things like that. All sorts of places, places of work. There's lots of companies now that are using digital networks, and they usually involve a repeater and then a network of mobiles or handsets. So for example, a shop watch or a pub watch, the control room would be where the repeater is, and all the shops and pubs on that network will have a handheld, for example, a DMR handheld, and they will talk into that repeater and share information. Now, some sensitive information can be shared on these repeaters, such as names, addresses. So if the shoplifters, they may share names, car registrations. When it comes to parking wardens, they may share car registrations and things like that. People give locations out because don't forget they just use it as a radio system. They don't have much knowledge of radio necessarily, so they'll just put anything over the radio. And these organisations want these radio networks to be secure. They don't think they're going to be being listened to, and when they find out they are, it causes them all sorts of problems and paranoia. And some of it's just, sometimes it's just paranoia. But when we share these frequencies, it just puts these companies on edge and they don't want to be listened to. So what happens is someone finds, for example, the Manchester Christmas markets. They go on a group, a forum, a website, and they share the frequencies. So they say, right, we've got Manchester Christmas markets on 463.5, for example, colour code 2, slot 2, talk groups X, Y, and Z, and they share all that information out in the public domain. And a lot of large companies and organisations have admin teams which troll social media, and they look for keywords involving them, and it helps them to combat customer service issues. It helps them to gain customer feedback and deal with any issues. So if someone's gone online slagging off their company, they can approach that customer and say, look, what was the problem you had? How can we help? And they do find things like frequencies being shared. And once they find that, as I say, it does put them on edge. They don't want to be listened to. They don't want to be monitored. And the radio system is provided usually by a third party. So, for example, if we take a Tesco store or we take a parking attendant network, a company, let's say me, Ringway Manchester Communications, I provide them the license, I provide them the handsets, all the service and the repeater, and say, there you go, this is the system I'm providing you. You pay me monthly or pay me yearly or as a one-off, and I'll support you. So all they have to do is get in touch with me and say, Lewis, our frequencies have been shared on this Facebook group. We don't want to be listened to. What can we do? And I can say, yeah, no problem. I'll just make you encrypted, which means no one can listen to you. And it usually doesn't cost anything as well, makes it all the more easier for them. So it would just require reprogramming the handsets and the repeater, and as I said, they usually won't charge a fee for this. Once they're encrypted, it doesn't mean it's completely private and they can be never listened to again. It's not like the police. If you have encryption keys, you can people do share encryption keys, and you can try encryption key after encryption key until you get the right one, and you can hear that person, but they can still change those encryption keys. It's a lot of work, and your average Joe isn't going to be into doing that. So for the most part, it does make that frequency and that network private. and then there's nothing left to listen to. So if you trawl the DMR portions of the UHF and VHF bands, you'll see more and more garbled frequencies being picked up, and that is because they're on encryption. And a lot of the time it's because the frequencies have been shared. And as I said earlier, there's nothing wrong with sharing frequencies between friends. If I find the Manchester Christmas markets and send it to a friend of mine privately and he puts it in his scanner, like, there's nothing wrong with that. That's all the fun of the hobby. But when we're sharing frequencies on public websites, public forums, Facebook groups and things like that, it's basically ruining the hobby, because anyone now can get a cheap DMR handset, program those frequencies in and go and listen. But when these companies realise that their information is being shared, they don't like it and they just go encrypted. And as I say, it's usually free, pretty straightforward to do, and then there's nothing left to listen to. So analog scanning is already on a downward spiral. There's less and less analog stuff to listen to, but there's also less and less digital stuff to listen to because of encryption. It's just food for thought, guys. When we share this information, we may think we're doing good and promoting the hobby, but we're actually not. We're killing it, and we're forcing people to go to digital systems that are encrypted, and there's nothing left to listen to, and it's really simple and straightforward to do. So just something to bear in mind. I know this topic may spark a bit of debate. Some people say I'm talking rubbish and disagree with me. A lot of people that are in the radio scanning hobby will absolutely agree with me. I know they will, because what I'm saying is right. So yeah, just think before we share stuff. There's lots of people on Facebook groups saying, "Oh, can somebody give me the parking attendance in Manchester? Can someone give me the frequencies?" And yep, here you go. Have them, get them in your radio, but it's just causing more damage than good. So if you are going to share frequencies, which there's nothing wrong with, just share them behind closed doors. Keep them to yourselves, because there's a really high chance that they'll go encrypted. And as I say, it's free, quick, and job done. Just something to think about. Okay, guys, as I say, I'm sure this will spark a bit of debate. So drop any comments in the box below. I'll get back to you. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already subscribed, hit the subscribe button, and we'll catch you very soon in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Cheers. 7-3 for now.